Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We are back here with another episode.
Another one. Hey, Pistol,
This,
our receiver, hit my line. Hit my line.
what is up with you in this? When you bench your seasoned veteran quarterback this late in the season, it's sending a message to the team.
Then goes out, and now they want to play with some heart. They want to play with some effort.
I see why Doc got fired. If you're not gonna make the adjustments as a coach, you need to go up and get up out of here.
Wentz has regressed, and it's a mental. I mean,
Disclaimer: he might have some outrageous, Max Kellerman type, things to say today. I don't know what he's gonna say, but the way he's starting off his video is giving me them vibes.
Good afternoon, J Wall Sports fans. It is now 12 o'clock on the dot. Now 12:01. I'm here with my guy, Nyshawn Anderson. How you doing?
What's up, my guy? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Hey, J Wall Sports has missed you, man. We haven't seen you for almost about a week and a half, man.
I know, man. I had to get some wisdom teeth taken out. So, I'm good now though.
Hey, if I could show y'all the picture that Nyshawn sent me when he was coming home from getting his wisdom teeth pulled, you guys would be in tears. It was hilarious. It was pure comedy. And I don't think you can't get that. You can't get that kind of pure comedy anywhere else. It only comes from that moment. Hey, but we're glad to have you back, man. Live on the Colorcast app every Thursday, 12 o'clock. So if you guys tune in, you guys can join us live, talk to us about the different topics that we're talking about. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get things started with this game will probably be the game of the week just because there's so much big news coming around it. So the Los Angeles Rams and the Tennessee Titans, before their week 9 matchup, the Rams added to their defensive depth, acquiring one of the top NFL pass rushers, Von Miller, to the team for a 2022 second-round pick and a third-round pick. The Titans, they lost their star running back, Derrick Henry, who will be out for the season with a foot injury that requires surgery. Nyshawn, which team will be impacted the most by the big news?
I think the answer is kind of obvious. It's the Titans. They're losing Derrick Henry, who is really a major piece for the offense, really the centerpiece around the offense, which is their run game. So you're losing the person who is running the ball and doing all these other things that created so much for the offense, which created the play action for AJ Brown to go across the middle or hitting Julio Jones. Now the offense is going to look kind of different. They did pick up Adrian Peterson, but I do believe there's going to be a couple bumps and bruises for this team for the next couple of weeks until AP figures out his groove in the offense and how they want to play. So, and if anything, the Rams just added another piece on how to stop offenses with adding Von Miller to that defensive front. So, like I said, it's gonna be rough for the Titans, but adding Adrian Peterson, I think is a great pickup, a smart pickup. I believe he can kind of have a kind of do it on Dan Carey did. He's kind of older, but AP can still go.
Yeah, I agree with. Well, actually, I disagree with you. I think having Von Miller on the Los Angeles Rams would be, a bigger impact for the Rams than it is for the Titans. I mean, obviously, the Titans, their running game is built around Derrick Henry, but adding Von Miller, to the mix of the Rams, along with Aaron Donald, another top pass rusher, that's sort of like what the Cleveland Browns have with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. You're gonna have one person on each side. A lot of the times, teams are double teaming Aaron Donald. You can't double team Aaron Donald anymore because you have Von Miller on the other side, who is just as big as a threat, if not a bigger threat than Aaron Donald. Look at the success he's had so much by himself when he was at the Denver Broncos. So I think Von Miller will be the bigger impact for this team, especially LA Rams team who was struggling a little defensively.
Yeah, man. Then you got to think they have Jalen Ramsey out there on the corner too. So this defense is gonna look really good.
Yeah, this defense is gonna look super good, and to go up against the Titans would be such a great preview. Not I can't say preview, but a great look at how efficient this team would be with Von Miller if they had Derrick Henry. The fact that Derrick Henry is not on the field is because running the ball is their identity.
Yeah.
So if the team doesn't have their identity going into their first game, now I can see if this was their third or fourth game without Derrick Henry, then I can be like, okay, this is going to be a favorable matchup because the Titans are still 6-2. They're still beating a lot of good teams, including the Chiefs. I could look past that, but at this point, I can't look past it. But it is going to still show us, what the pass rush is going to look like because we know Ryan Tannehill, he's gonna have to air the ball out a lot.
Yeah, especially this week.
Right. So, with these two big news happen, are you taking the Rams over the Titans, or are you gonna go Titans over Rams?
Rams over Titans.
Rams over Titans. I am in completely agree with you. Now, if Derrick Henry was here, would you still go Rams over Titans?
I don't know. That's a tough one because the Titans they found their groove right before he got injured. So it might have been a toss up. I might have to go a little, off the wall prediction. I don't know, call it upset game and say the Titans are going to beat them. But now, I just don't think it'll happen, especially without Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. So, next up on the list is we have the 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The 49ers, they are now 3-4. They've been struggling. They were on a pretty good losing streak, but they are bouncing back now. So they got to take on the Arizona Cardinals, who just took a disappointing L after the 7-game win streak to the Green Bay Packers last week. So, Nashawn, who are you going with in this game?
And the Cardinals. I do believe they're bounced back this week. The Cardinals' offense is too explosive for the 49ers to keep up with. I mean, even on the loss to Green Bay, they were only a play away from, basically winning the game if AJ Green just turned around.
Right, and earlier in the season, they was only a play away from losing another game. If somebody's kicker could just make a field goal,
You're mad.
Big mad. Because bro should have made the field goal. There is no reason he should have missed that field goal. But I'm gonna digress. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, it's good to let things go. Never forget, but you can let them go.
You gonna let go that L that we handed y'all?
So like I was saying, right? Like I was saying, right? There was only a play away from winning the game. The Cardinals defense ranked 4th in the NFL, according to ESPN, only allowing 319 yards per game. And the 49ers offense has not looked good or great or like he did 2 years ago when they was in the Super Bowl. So I just see them using that as an easy bounce. I won't say easy bounce back since it's an original game, but I see them bouncing back this week. Too much to handle.
Yeah, I agree, man. The 49ers, they just haven't looked like the 49ers this year. And I honestly, I don't even know what it is at this point. why the 49ers have not looked like they're supposed to look like, what's going on with Kyle Shanahan's offense. Like, you have Jimmy Garoppolo, and for the most part, he's been healthy. I mean, he missed one or two games, I believe, with that calf injury. And that time, that's when Trey Lance came in. When Trey Lance got injured, but then they had the bye week, and then that's when Jimmy came back. So I don't understand why they have a 3-4 record. I don't know what's going on with our offense. They still have an elite defense. They still have an elite offense. They just aren't putting it together. So when they go out there on the field, they don't look elite. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they look elite. On the offensive end, on the defensive end, even though they did lose J.J. Watt for the season due to a shoulder injury. This team, they look
shoulder injuries.
Exactly, shoulder injuries. Multiple.
Did you see how many he had?
No, I did not know how many he had.
Torn labrum, torn bicep, dislocated shoulder, and torn rotator cuff.
You was playing on that? Yeah, dog.
I said this by a whole new shoulder, boy.
Right. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Football players are built different. Because, hey, let a basketball player have a torn labrum. Yeah, just come on. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get surgery, and let's go ahead and see y'all next season. Now, JJ wanted to play through it, but even though they don't have JJ Watt, I mean, this Cardinals defense is still really good. Like you said, they were fourth in the league. Was that for per yards per game?
Yeah, 319 per game.
119 per game.
319 per game.
Oh, 319 per game. I was about to say, geez. Okay. Yeah, 319 per game. That's really efficient. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, man. Shoot, they really should still be undefeated, in my opinion.
They shouldn't have been 7-0, in my opinion.
And man, get that hit out your heart. It ain't healthy for you.
It's not hate. I'm not hating on them. If I was hating on them, I would have picked the 49ers to win. I'm just mad that yeah, because he should have made the field goal. I mean, hell, it was like a 37.
You go out there and kick it in. Oh, okay.
I don't get paid millions of dollars to kick your ball in between two yellow poles. He gets paid millions of dollars to do it.
I'm the same. Might as well go out there and start destroying. That's all I'm saying. So you got a problem with it?
I do got a problem with it. You gonna go out there and play quarterback? Because everybody hates Sam Darnold right now.
Shoot, I'm right down the street. Give me a call.
They don't want to call you. You can't even throw the ball 20 yards.
They don't need to. Offensive line, defensive line will be able to see me. I'm out there looking like Kyler Murray out there.
No.
And wait till CMC come back. You're gonna be dynamic.
Okay. We gonna see. I can agree somewhat when CMC come back where Aaron Donald at quarterback, not you. Y'all would be dynamic. Y'all would be back to being dynamic.
Did you say Aaron Donald? That's what I heard.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay.
I got to get used to throwing flowers on Sam Darnold's name. So used to when I talk good, I got to go Aaron Donald because, he was on the Jets. Bad online, bad receivers. It was bad situation for him. So talking about another team who is really just killing it right now, and that's the Golden State Warriors as they beat the Charlotte Hornets 92-114. Jordan Poole led the way for the Hornets with 31 points, 4 steals, 11 of 21 from the field, and 7 of 16 from 3. On the other end, Miles Bridges, he led the game with all scores with 32 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 12 of 22 from the field goal, and 5 of 9 from 3. Jordan Poole was pretty much the unsung hero for this Warriors team as Curry was held to a low scoring. How big was this game for Jordan Poole?
It was a pretty big game for him. He had a good opening game. I think who they played, the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
He looked really good opening day against them. I think this season is really big for him because they're trusted him in the offense. So if Curry's not there or Curry's not going, like you see last night, he stepped up and was a major part of the offense to kept the offense going throughout the game. So I think this game is going to be big for him, especially when Clay comes back. Just another piece to pass the ball to. His points may go down, but his production should stay the same.
Right. So I was watching, and I'm so glad you brought up the point about Clay. So I was watching them warm up. They showed some clips of Clay warming up. And for a person to have a torn Achilles and a torn ACL, his lift on his jump shot looks really good. So and then the shot, the form looks really good. I mean, it's Klay Thompson. I mean, he has the prettiest form in the NBA, but just the fact that he just looks so good after the torn ACL, after the torn Achilles, it brings like joy to me just to see that, that we're gonna get Klay Thompson, back. And what Klay Thompson's playing style is not gonna be a big curve, like the adjustment curve for him, because of what kind of game he plays. Now, when he has to shoot like in a crowded paint, that's gonna be his adjustment. But coming off screen and shooting some wide open threes, that's gonna be bread and butter. And to have him in the starting lineup, you put Jordan Poole in a second unit with Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, along which you still haven't got James Wiseman back yet. So this game, it really meant a lot to Jordan Poole, because now you have somebody, a designated scorer in your second unit that really emulates what Curry does in the first unit. So to have somebody that can, emulate what your star player does, it makes the defense have to guard the same the entire game. You know how tiring it is to chase Curry around all these screens all day, especially with Draymond Green, who is really, he said it himself, I'm the best screener the NBA has ever seen. And he's gone out and he's proven it every game since he said that, he said it last season. And he's gone out there and he's proven that every game. So to have, that kind of, leadership from Green to teach other players, how to smartly screen for Poole in that second unit, it's going to be, I don't even know. I can't even tell you what the ceiling is going to be. I just know the ceiling is going to be super high.
Yeah, man. Especially to get Wiseman back too. I forgot he was even on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's on it in Draymond, this season, and Clay coming back. And Gary Payton played excellent defense last night too. So
yes, Gary Payton, he was putting clamps on people.
But between him and Bridges, who you think's going so far? Who you think is going to get most improved between those two?
Jordan Poole and Miles Bridges?
Yeah.
Miles Bridges, for sure.
Yeah, he's been hooping. He's been averaging like what, 26, 27 a game.
Right. So he's really hooping. He's coming up big, and it's to be paired with somebody like LaMelo, who he's gonna do just about everything, and both of them just do about just everything. I mean, look at what I just listed off. I mean, he had 32 points, led the game in scoring, had 9 rebounds, had 2 steals, and had two blocks. Shot 50% from the field, and about a little over 50% from the 3-point line. I think that's about right. So he's hitting like all the major statistical blocks that make or break a game.
Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, and you can't forget. I mean, you also got to put there's some other players around the league that you could put in that MIP spot.
Who?
Like RJ Barrett, he's having a really good start to the season. That's just one player I can name off the top of my head. I mean, it's still early in the season, so like Bridges or Poole or RJ Barrett, they could all drop off, or they could all just continue to blow our minds. But it's gonna be a bit of an adjustment for us to trying to figure that out. That the halfway awards they are gonna come up soon. I mean, what we in November? Start of the season, so November, December, January, February. We got 3 months for the halfway awards, so we have time to figure out these things,
For sure.
right? But halfway awards for the NFL is next week, so if you guys, so you guys gonna be on the lookout for that, and that one's also gonna be live on the Colorcast app. But before we get to the halfway award, let's talk about your team and their half performances. Now, Sean, your Carolina Panthers, they have been struggling to get anything going pretty much after their 3-0 start. They're looking to get back on track after they got a win over the Falcons last week against the Patriots. What do you guys need to do to win?
First of all, you need to stop slandering my team.
Your team slandered themselves.
If anybody's listening on the Colorcast app, just know Martin I may be here in a couple weeks. If he keeps talking like he's talking. So
Why ain't gonna be here?
You see.
What? As a Vikings fan, we completed one or two assignments that we just needed to hit on. Assignment number 1 was to beat y'all. Assignment number 2 was to beat the Cowboys, but we just failed in that. We came up short. I ain't gonna say we failed. We came up short, and that's okay. As long as I can brag over you for the next year, I'll be okay.
I understand. Y'all got dotted up by a backup. But moving on to the Panthers, right?
You got dotted up by an average offense.
Oh no! You say your offense is elite when things are going correctly, and it seems like they were going correctly against us, right?
I said when we get our run game going, we're a very good offense. I didn't say we are elite. No, it's very few elite offenses in the league. I said that we have a very good offense when we do have our run game going for us. If our run game is not going for us, then that's when we have a subpar offense. But we're not talking about the Vikings. We're going to talk about your subpar offensive team. How they going to get the win over the Patriots?
Do the same thing they did last week against the Falcons to get the win. Run the ball early and often. Keep the defense kind of guessing, which I've been saying for the last couple of weeks. Keep the ball, run the ball, let Sam Darnold make the offense a lot simpler for him. The defense is going to do the same thing they did last week against the Falcons. Held the Falcons to 213 yards total. And I think Matt Ryan only had like 130 yards passing, and that's like the lowest in his career. So they can have another performance like that. Yeah, I don't believe they can beat the Patriots. CNC has been back at practice this week, which is a good sign. I don't believe he'll be back this week. Maybe next week, hopefully. And whoever the quarterback is, because Sam Darnold took a pretty hard hit against the Falcons and knocked them out the game late in the fourth quarter. And they're going to have to kind of have that same kind of performance, whoever the quarterback is. Like I said, run the ball heavy, be smart and decisive with the passes, and they should get a victory. Especially Gilmore is going to play against New England. I believe he'll have a chip on his shoulder. He already had a pick last week to kind of seal the game. Shaq Thompson is back on defense, so it's gonna be hard for the Patriots offense to put up some points, especially since they don't have a run game.
Yeah, and if Sam Darnold will play, it's still up in the air right now. He's out right now with a concussion and right shoulder. Well, he's not out, but he was very limited in practice on yesterday. So if he'll come back, that's up in the air right now. We are not 100% sure. So like Sean said, so if somebody's gonna come in and take command of this offense, they're gonna have to do so, in the same fashion that you guys did last week, and that would be PJ Walker coming in at quarterback. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know who PJ Walker is. keep it a bandage.
It's all right. I barely know him too. So
Hey, but all I know is that he a brother, so he can come in and take the starting job.
right on.
Yes, sir. Nah, but yeah, this is gonna be a tough assignment for you guys because I've been thinking this for a while. Matt Jones is in the perfect situation that a rookie quarterback will want to come into. We thought that we've been saying this pretty much all year though, that any team that goes to the Patriots or any team that goes to the 49ers, any player that goes to the Bears are going to be in a perfect situation because they don't have to try to overcome a bunch. Matt Jones just has to go out there, read defenses, hit his targets. That's all he has to do. Think about what Trevor Lawrence has to do. Trevor Lawrence has to go out there, read defenses, protect himself, hit his targets on point, and make sure he doesn't get hurt in the process. Same thing for Justin Fields now. I mean, we've seen Justin Fields get blasted a couple of times. I mean, we've seen Mac Jones get blasted once, but for the most part, he has pretty good protection, and his defense it's really good because it's a Bill Belichick led defense. So I'm not too surprised there by what the defense is giving the offense, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what y'all can do to win, especially if you don't have Sam Darnold. I don't think you can bring in a backup quarterback against Bill Belichick's defense and be able to win, even if you do have Christian McCaffrey.
I think the defenses will have to get turnovers, make it easier for the offense, get us in good position to score, and do it that way. Because our defense is really solid. I think if we can put a lot of pressure on Mac, Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns have looked really good these last couple of weeks. And the thing is, the defense has been performing for us, but they just get tired of going out there after
Multiple
3 and out every drive for the offense.
Yeah. I was trying to help you. Because that is a big thing. Multiple 3 and outs is what causes the defense to get tired. That's what causes the defense to be down drop down towards the end of allowing yards per game. Your offense has to at least give the defense a bit of a break. And lately, your offense has not been doing that, especially in the third quarter. Because we talked about this earlier. I think the last couple games, I think you guys scored twice in the third quarter since then. So now we're looking at 21 points, 14 to 21 points total in the third quarter that you guys are scoring. So it's still not there, but all those 3 and outs, I mean, y'all will have about 3-4 drives in the third quarter, and all of them are pretty much 3 and outs, which is where you lose the game at, because as you go deeper in the fourth quarter, your defense gets even more tired.
Yeah, man, it's been a rough couple of weeks, rough month for us, but I think CNC comes back in a week or two, and we can win this week. Find a way to win this week. I think we should be okay, man. We're still in the race for the wild card right now, and we still got to play Tampa Bay twice, and we're 2-0 in the division. We already beat the Saints. We just beat the Falcons, so there's still a fighting chance.
Yeah, y'all still got a fighting chance. I wish I could say that about my team.
That's tough.
Hey, currently right now we have the 4th most difficult schedule from this week on to the rest of the season.
Sorry.
Hey, it's all right. It's gonna build us to come back even better next year. So I'm not even tripping.
Yeah, you already planning on next year, which means you giving up on this year. But go ahead.
Who you playing besides the Detroit Lions? I think every week we're playing a playoff team, a good playoff team. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and look at us for you because I just have it right here. This week we're playing the Baltimore Ravens, following with the Chargers, the Packers, the 49ers, the Lions, that's a dub. The Steelers, still a pretty good team. The Bears, still a pretty good team. The Rams, Packers, and Bears. I can guarantee one, maybe three. I can guarantee maybe 1 or 3 wins during that span.
Sound like you have a lot of confidence in your team.
No, I just know we're playing elite offenses and elite defenses.
It's the NFL.
It is the NFL. But I mean, if we was playing the Jets, it's not an elite offense, nor that's an elite defense, not even an elite team. So you gotta think about it. Look, the Ravens, number 1 running team in the NFL. Chargers, they got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, elite defenses. The Packers, they got Aaron Rodgers. I don't need to throw anything else out there. They have Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers, elite defense. They have Najee Harris, who's been running the ball pretty well lately, which is starting to open up the passing game for Ben Roethlisberger. The Rams, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Do I need to keep going? All right. Then we got to play the Packers again.
You forgot Jalen Ramsey, but okay.
Oh, yeah. And Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey, who most definitely they're going to put on Justin Jefferson. So it's not like I don't have confidence in my team, but I'm also a realist and I know the limitations of my team.
It's hard.
Next up, we have actually, you know what? This is your topic. I'm gonna let you go ahead and I'm gonna let you bring it in.
Man, the NBA is back and, we're starting to get into our NBA groove now. So Mark and I will discuss the most surprising teams to start this season so far. First up, the Miami Heat start the season with a 6-1 start and currently leading the East.
Yeah.
And what you think about the Heat?
I can't say I'm that surprised. I mean, you got Bam Adebayo, then you have Jimmy Butler, and then you added Kyle Lowry. And this is not even the final form because they still got Victor Oladipo, who's going to come off the bench, along with Tyler Hero, along with Duncan Robinson. Exactly. This team is going to be surprising everybody left and right this season. So, and then look at the wins they got. I mean, they got a win over the Mavericks. That wins over the Grizzlies, the Hornets, the Nets, and the Bucks.
Yeah, man.
They are
shout
going
out to
be,
Tyler Hero too.
Yes, sir. Tyler Hero's been
for the season. He
well.
said the bubble wasn't a fluke. He got something to prove this year, and my golly, he's proven a point so far.
Right. I mean, year 2 for a lot of players is a big thing. Jason Tatum had a down year 2. Tyler Hero had a down year 2. Duncan Robinson had a down year 2 also. I mean, so year 2 for your players, it's a big adjustment because now they're not just trying to figure out how to score in the NBA. They're trying to figure out how to score efficiently, how to do the little things, And then now the league has had a chance to look at the whole 82, 72, or however many games that they played the whole season. They get a chance to look at them and be like, okay, let's try to do this to try to stop him. And then he has to try to overcome that, on the fly, which is not very easy to try to overcome, defense adjustments on the fly. I mean, most of your NBA All-Stars, those 30, 35 players, those are the ones who, consistently every night are able to overcome any kind of defensive adjustment that a team will throw at them. So the fact that, a second-year player in Tyler Hero was struggling a little to figure out the defense adjustments and how he can still put his, footprint on this game is not surprising at all.
And he also said he thinks he's on that level as Trae Young and Luka and them, and he got a point to prove. He's like, little baby, I got something to prove.
I mean, but that's what you're supposed to do though. Like you're supposed to put yourself in that on that pedestal. If you want to be the best of the best, you got to start putting your first of all, you got to start putting your name with the best of the best. You know, especially for his was that his draft class? I think that was his draft class.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
that was the draft class. Yeah, especially what plays in your draft class. I mean, Luca and Trey are 1 and 2 in his draft class. So to put yourself number 3 is really up for grabs for anybody. So why wouldn't Tyler Hero put himself up there? I mean, he's averaging 22 points for the season, dishing out about 4 assists for the season. So I mean, playing pretty well. And then this team, they're honestly really loaded. I mean, they got Markieff Morris, who came from the Miami Heat. They got PJ Tucker, who came from the Milwaukee Bucks. So those are some people those are the people that's gonna guard your Giannis's, your LeBrons, your elite small forward, maybe some two guards. I mean, just that's gonna be tough though.
Yeah, man, the best defensively right now in Points Allowed, I believe.
Right, I believe they are.
And I think they have the best offense too.
I think so, yeah. And then they also got Caleb Martin too, came from Charlotte. Caleb, pretty much, he's a little splash of everything. And then UD, he's still down there taking that money.
Yeah, I saw he got like 2 minutes the other night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got him a little PT in. He said he got to get some cardio with the young guns every once in a while.
Well, he be doing the practice, boy. He don't be dressing out of practice either.
Mm-hmm. But the NBA, they practice so less nowadays that it's not like real cardio. But like a game cardio, you line up and down, might be still, nothing is going to compare you to being to game cardio except for playing basketball.
I hope it's a game where everybody fouls out and he got to play like 25 minutes.
And while UD's gonna get buckets,
Still got it.
He gonna have 15 to 10.
He helps out.
He old head. You think he finna do a whole bunch of this? A whole bunch of what everybody else doing now. They gonna set him a few screens. He gonna find his mismatch and he gonna put him in the post and get him a little layup. He gonna get about 5 of those in 25 minutes. He gonna get about 5 of those.
That's 10 points. He said 15 to 10.
Okay, he'll get some free throws.
Okay. I can see him now backing down. Yeah, you too young, nephew. You too young, nephew.
So another team that's been the opposite of what the Heat are is the Boston Celtics, and they've been struggling these past couple of games, and they started the season off with 3-5. And they have losses to the Bulls, the Wizards, the Raptors, the Knicks, and the Bulls, which are all pretty good teams, but they only have wins over the Hornets, the Magic, and the Rockets. Now, Sean, talk to me about this team.
Yeah, it's kind of rough watching it right now, man. Like they have the pieces. Brad Stevens is out now. They have a new coach, so I guess they're still trying to get their foot in with the new coach. But this is a team that should be winning. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams has looked really good so far. They have the pieces. They have a point guard in Dennis Smith who's a veteran in the league, so he can run an offense. So I don't know why this team's not winning.
Yeah, man, I'm just as lost for words on this team as you are. I mean, you just named them. They have the pieces. They got Jason Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown. They have Marcus Smart. They have Dennis Schroeder, an elite point guard. I mean, I don't know what for this team is just not working for them. And they play the Miami Heat tonight, so that'll be good picture, sort of kind of to see, how they're gonna match up against an elite team. I mean, they played some elite teams. I mean, but it's been close. I mean, they lost 128 to 114 to the Bulls. They got
That
beat
lead,
by. You said what?
they blew that lead to the Bulls. It was up like 16-17.
Yeah, but the Celtics blowing leads has been sort of a trend lately going into last season. I mean, they got beat pretty bad by the Raptors, 115 to 83. Then in the beginning of the season, they looked so good though. Remember that double overtime game against the Knicks? We came on here the next day and we talked about that here live on the Colorcast app. That was so good. I mean, Jason Tatum, he didn't really show up in that game. He only had 21 points, but Jaylen Brown, he 46 points, most points I think that was the most points in the first game for a Celtic for the start of the season. So like that they were on the up. And then now they're not even in playoff contention. Like if playoffs were to end if the regular season were to end today, they wouldn't even be in a playing tournament. So this is right. This is really crazy. And the Celtics, they need to get it together. I mean, I understand you have a first year head coach, but you don't have first year players out there playing your significant minutes.
Sure. And they got Al Horford back too.
Exactly that. They have Al Horford back. And Al Horford, he was such a big part for this team. And he's third in scoring on this team. So I don't know. I don't know what they need to do.
They get it together quick though.
I mean, like they have, and it looks like everybody, knows what they're supposed to do. I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's leading the team in points right now. I mean, Al Horford is leading the team in rebounds. Dennis Schroeder is averaging 6 assists a game. Marcus Smart, he's defensive guy for the team, 2.6 steals a game. I mean, going along with Dennis Schroeder, he's an underrated defender. And I didn't notice that until he was on the Lakers last year, and I just realized, how up and close and personal he's with every point guard in every game. He's literally picking most of them up at half court. As soon as they cross the half court line, he's on them. And then Al Horford, he's leading the team on blocks. I mean, it looks like they know their roles, they have their identity, but they just not able to string games together.
Hopefully they pick it up soon. And like we both said, man, they have the pieces to compete, to contend. But it's not getting done these last couple years.
Yeah. Very sad.
Another team that is struggling right now, the New Orleans Pelicans are sitting last in the Western Conference with a 1-7 record. What do they need to do to get things turned around?
Oh no. I mean, the Pelicans they've been down bad since AD left. Since AD got traded, they've been down bad. I mean, Brandon Ingram, he's their leading scorer right now, but they just I don't even know. Like, I really don't. I mean, I guess when Zion comes back, it'll make things a lot easier because Zion, he's out right now. I mean, because it's not like they win, they're losing by a bunch. I mean, they got two 20-point game losses. The first 2 games of the season, they were 20-point game losses. They lost to Minnesota by 10, but then they came back the next day or 2 days later and they beat the Timberwolves by 10. And then they lost by 3 to Atlanta, lost by 4 to the Kings, lost by what is that? That's 6. Lost by 6 to New York, lost by 12 to Phoenix, and then they lost by 99. That's almost what? That's almost like 11, 12 points to Sacramento. I mean, they ain't too bad now, but they need to figure something out. I mean, you went out and you required Devontae Graham in the offseason, which is a great pickup. 4-year team. I mean, they needed a point. They needed a point guard who could score the rock efficiently.
He don't do that, not efficiently, but
I mean, he's averaging 17 points right now.
he don't shoot efficient. One game I saw, he was shooting like 4-15 from the field.
I mean, right now he's shooting 37% from the field.
Not
And he's
good.
shooting 35% from the three. 37% from the field is pretty good. I don't know what you've been looking at, but 37% from the field is honestly, in my opinion, that's efficient.
Not when you needed to score the ball a little bit more. I mean, I guess
when you have Zion, you have Valanciunas, and you have Brandon Ingram. I mean, 17 points a game is pretty good. I mean, what you want? How many you want? You want to go out and score 40 every game?
Charlotte. Nah, I'm gonna need at least 20 though. 20, 22.
I mean,
especially with
Zion. That's what he's giving you. He's giving you. I mean, he's third in scoring behind Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas, who's averaging 19 points a game. Then Devontae Graham, he's averaging 17. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's at 13. Hart's got 10. And then after that, everybody else is under 6. You add Zion to that mix with that 20-point game. Valanciunas probably dropped to 15. So would Devontae Graham. And I think Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander probably stay where they're at because they're in that second unit a lot more than that starting unit.
I never was a big fan of Devontae Graham when he was in Charlotte. He was just always taking, in my opinion, ill-advised shots or bad shots, heavily contested shots. So I'm just like, I ain't really sold on the guy yet.
I can understand that.
Hey man, my Blazers.
Shoot, hold on, pause. So you said 37% is not efficient?
Man, it's all right.
So Damian Lillard's not efficient this season. So right now, Damian Lillard, he's shooting 35%. That's a little under Dame. That's a little under Dame's average, but I still think 35% is good. I mean, not everybody's gonna come out here and shoot 45, almost 50%.
I'm not saying that either, but you should be. I don't say right at 40. It's pretty efficient.
He's at 37. That's like right at 40.
Is it? Same horseshoes.
Huh?
I said the same horseshoes where you just gotta get closest.
So 40% for Devontae Graham, 39% for Devontae Graham is pretty much what you say your ideal number for his field goal percentage should be.
39, 40, yeah.
But 37% ain't cutting it. But 39% gonna cut it.
Yes.
Oh, you don't make no sense whatsoever. But okay. That don't make no sense. 2% is not affecting anything.
All right, so in North Carolina, the sales tax is 7%. If it went up 2%, it wouldn't affect your
Okay, we're talking about money. They're talking about if he makes one more shot a game, then it averages at 37%. I read off all those scores. There were 5 games when they lost by 10 or more points. If he makes 3 more points, what difference does that make in any of those games?
Pull up his stats and tell me what he's shooting how many attempts he's taking per game and how many he's making.
Attempts per game and how many he's making? I got you.
I guarantee you it's not good.
Okay, where's he at? All right, so we'll go in order from the beginning of the season to now, okay?
Okay.
Against Philly, he was 6-9. Against Chicago, he was 7 of 14. Minnesota, he was 2 of 14. That's a bad game. 8 of 16 against Minnesota 2 nights later. 8 of 17 against the Hawks. 4 of 16 against Sacramento. 6 of 21 against New York. 4 of 15 versus Phoenix, and 5 of 10 against Sacramento.
Inefficient, like I said, he's not doing
Inefficient.
He
So he
started out
had
pretty strong.
wait, pause. He had
He started
1,
out pretty strong.
2, 3, 4 out of 10. What is it? 9 games. Out of 9 games, he's had 4 games where he shot under 47%. He's had 4 games where he shot under 47%.
Hey, if I did put up the same numbers in Charlotte too, I'm just not sold on Buddy, bro.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a superstar. I mean, he a role player. He's like a little bit less than what Drew Holiday is. I said he was less.
Drew Holiday?
He doesn't have the defense. He doesn't most definitely doesn't have the defense Drew Holiday does. Drew Holiday scores a little bit better than him. Drew Holiday passes the ball better than him. Other than that, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday's doing a lot more and shooting better than him.
Drew Holiday also had more than 4 years to figure his stuff out. I mean, Devontae. First of all, let's look at what Devontae Graham did in a year. Devontae Graham in 1 year went from averaging 2 to 20 points a game, and this is like year 3 for him.
He's 4, 3 or 4. I wanted to say
this is his 4th season. Season number 4, and he's already having such a big role for multiple teams. I mean, he had a big role for Charlotte, had a big role, has having a nice role for the Pelicans right now.
okay.
All right.
We'll check back in at the halfway wall.
All right, yeah, let's show. We're gonna check back in. So next up, we got your team, same record as the Celtics, 3-5. I mean, y'all got some decent wins. I mean, y'all wins are valid. I mean, you got wins over the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Suns. But then you got losses over the Cavs, the 76ers, the Hornets, the Clippers, and the Kings. What's going on in Portland?
Hey man, they don't have a bench right now, man. It's really tough out there. And they only got Anthony Simons coming out there. They do have Larry Nance. That's another guy I want to say. I think Nasir Little from North Carolina coming off the bench. He may start him. But like you said a couple minutes ago when we were talking about shooting percentages, Dame's not shooting the ball pretty well so far to start the season. But I think they're finding their groove. Like I said, they're having a new coach too, and you throw a couple new pieces in there, and everybody's trying to find their groove. CJ's been playing pretty well though. I know this team will bounce back. I know Dame will shoot better than he has been shooting. He's set up to himself. So I'm not too worried, but also same time, if you don't have a bench or if you're not, making ourselves better, I don't see us making a deep playoff push either. So I know they'll pick things up, but like you said, you're a realist too. I don't see this team going very far in the Western Conference.
Yeah, man. Y'all gonna have to pick it up. I don't know, but y'all GM Neil O'Shea, this is his fault. Y'all don't have a bench. This is his fault. Y'all don't have a bench. I mean, y'all gave up a lot, and I mean a lot for Norman Powell.
I like Trent too, man. He was finding his groove.
Right, Gary Trent was a bucket. Like, why would you give up Gary Trent? out of all the players, you put Gary Trent in that trade. Gary Trent, Anthony Simons will be the two players I yell like, nah, they is off the table. Because now you don't have a bench. I mean, Anthony Simons, he's coming in and he's giving you some good, consistent minutes, 14 a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. But if you had him and Gary Trent Jr., because at one point Gary Trent was giving you 20 a game, just about.
Yeah.
So you had him giving you 20. You be winning more of these games. You'd probably be sitting at 6-1 right now. 7-1. Somewhere up there. But y'all are.
And we lost Melo this offseason too, man. So we're losing
lost
his
who?
production. Melo.
Oh yeah. Boy on the Lakers now. Loving it.
Yeah. Losing his point production as well. It's also been a struggle for us. And the pieces they picked up aren't really productive pieces. Added Cody Zeller, Larry Nance, and somebody else, which they're not gonna go get a bucket. They're not
what I need to do? I need to get my boy Dennis more than 11 minutes a game.
Yeah, but you can't keep playing guards too.
I mean, but that was y'all identity last year. Y'all were a guard heavy team that was tough on defense. You out hustled everybody, and then you would just efficiently score the ball. You had too many shooters. I mean, and then y'all was getting robbed for the longest.
Yeah, I just thought about him when you said that. Yeah, he about to bring up Zach Collins, boy. I know he is.
Oh yeah, Zach was robbing y'all, and then y'all give him a contract extension right before he got injured.
But like I said, I don't know when I said it, but I probably said it a long time ago, man. We need a small forward.
I know, and small forwards are hard to come by.
I mean, just imagine if he had somebody like Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh, that's tough.
You don't need him to score, but he can defend, he can rebound, he can push the pace. We're missing that right now, man. We don't need a 3-guard system. Because right now, I don't really see Norman Powell as a forward. He's really just another guard.
I can see that somewhat. Yeah, he's 6'3". For sure. That boy is a shooting guard. He is a shooting guard.
So yeah, man, they got some things they need to work out on their end, but we get to go quick.
Yeah, y'all. I don't know what y'all need to do, but y'all need to figure that out quick. A team who has figured their stuff out pretty quick is the Toronto Raptors, as they started the season off 6-3. They have wins over the Wizards, Knicks, Pacers, Magic, Celtics, and the Pacers again. And they have lost to the Bulls, Wizards, and Mavericks.
And they're looking pretty good. I was not expecting this start from them, but Scotty Barnes has looked really good, and I wasn't expecting him to look this good, but he's playing really great basketball so far to start the season. And I believe that's a piece they're missing that what's his name? OG Alanabu wasn't given them.
OG Anobu?
Yeah.
Anobi, yeah.
That he wasn't giving them that. I think what Scotty Barnes is doing what they wanted from OG. And they look pretty good right now. Fred's, leading the team, doing what he's got to do. They got the sets behind them right now, and they're hooping. And I think Scotty Barnes' defense adds another thing to that offense because he plays such great defense. It creates offense for the team, which is in a sense what they need.
Right. I completely agree with you. OG Anobi, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's leading the team in scoring right now. It's 20 a game. I mean, but it's being backed up with, pretty much even scoring from, everybody. Gary Trent, he straps on the defense, almost 3 steals a game. Fredman Fleet has 7 assists a game. Scotty's leading the team in rebounds with 8.9 a game. And then they're just really, they're just, defensively sound. I mean, you got to think, their head coach, he made the 2-3 defense and 3-2 and the boxing ones and all these different defense. He made those pretty much, a trend again, especially in the NBA. In the NBA, for the longest, we were just seeing straight man to man. If you weren't playing man to man, then you were pretty much laughed at. I mean, I remember at one point in time, the Sixers, before they acquired, all these Ben Simmons and what's his name, Joel Embiid. Yeah, they came out in the 3-2 one time to start the game. They stayed in the 3-2 the whole time. They got the breaks beat off in the 3-2. And so it was just sort of like, it's embarrassing as a team to play a zone defense and you still get beat by 40. So I mean, I can see, why most NBA teams they just rather play, that man-to-man defense, throw some help in there, throw some traps in there somewhere, double teams in there, and just live with that. But with this team, he is going to mix it up. He is going to buy person player now. I mean, we probably could see them in the near future when they play the Warriors. They're going to box in one Curry, and I wouldn't be mad at it because it's smart.
Yeah. But hopefully they can keep it up, man. I like to see where they'll end up at the end of the regular season and who they'll have to play. Cause that can be a low-key sneaky team if you're the Nets or somebody, during the first round of the playoffs.
Right. But
hey,
I know I would love to hit the Vikings game, but it's 104. We ran over just a little bit of the time. So that's all we got for you guys today. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of JWall Sports. We want to take a second just to tell all our fans, everybody who's been listening to us on Colorcast, everybody who's been following us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We just want to say thank you to you guys and thank you for the continued support that you guys show for us.
Yes, we really do appreciate y'all. Every listener, every viewer, every liker, every retweeter, sharer, we appreciate y'all. And also, I don't know if they listening, but shout out to my friend, Tara, today, her birthday. She told me to shout her out. So shout out to you. Blessings and peace.
Go ahead, have a happy birthday. Be safe though. Turn up for the one time for us.
For sure. Turn up.
Yeah. So if you guys have not, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page at JWall Sports. And we out.
We out.